When you really think about it, we make hundreds of decisions every day, maybe even thousands. We're practically making decisions every second. Even choosing not to make one is a decision in itself. Now that's a brain twister. Kem Mpama, CEO of Cognition Global Concepts, wrote a book called The Art of Achievement and Fulfillment: Fundamental Principles to Overcome Obstacles and Turn Dreams into Reality. In there, he said, many people fail in their career, business, and relationships, and others get stuck because of their inability to make quality decisions. Just because you can make a decision doesn't mean you should do so, at least not without really thinking it through. A life of bad decisions? No thank you. Good decision-making skills are what all people want, which is why there are people like Nell Wolfhart, a decision-making coach who gets paid to help other people decide. What kind of people does she help, you ask? Well, keep on watching to know who gets paid for saying yes and no and how you can help to improve the decision-making skills you already have. Welcome to Alux. Getting paid for decision-making. Nell Wolfhart, the founder of Decide and Move Forward, said that her clients come from all walks of life, from rising entrepreneurs to coders. Being able to help people make decisions, or making decisions for them, is useful in just about any field. As long as you need help making a decision, she's got your back. There are a lot of people who get paid for making decisions. You might be one of them and just haven't noticed. Stephanie Shirley, a public relations professional and founder of Bennis Public Relations, was shocked to discover that people actually paid her to decide for them, something that she didn't initially think about until her husband pointed it out. Truth is, just like something Bane said in The Dark Knight Rises,
"It doesn't matter who we are. What matters is our plan."
These people actually get paid for their planning and decision-making rather than for who they are in a company, especially when there are high stakes involved. Now, on to the juicy part. Who earns the big bucks just by saying yes or no? Well, we have CEOs, industry leaders, company executives, advisors, and people in the PR industry, just to name a few. They are leaders in their respective fields. Changes come based on what they want and decide to do. People depend on their decisions to make things run smoothly and easy for everybody. So, of course, they're going to get paid for that. Are you one of them? If you are, having your decisions matter big time must be kinda terrifying. It can be stressful to make decisions that can have huge repercussions. We get it, so let's talk about how to make your decision-making skills worth the bucks. Making good decisions. Now, making smart decisions in a timely manner can make or break your career. However, it's best that you decide these things yourself. Even Princess Leia of Star Wars understood it's important to do that when she said,
"He's got to follow his own path. No one can choose it for him."
So to make sure that the decisions you make are your own and will lead to good outcomes, we have a few things for you to think about. First, are you confident enough to make the decision? Do you have all of the information needed to create a solution? A lot of decision-making stems from the fact that problems need solutions, and your best weapon when it comes to this is being well-informed before deciding something. It's dangerous to run into a war with a battle cry, but no sword. Yikes. Talk about being a little too impulsive. And nothing good comes out of a big, impulsive decision, trust us. Next, your choice has to be crystal clear. Whether it's a yes or a no, your decision has to be clear to everyone. In decision-making, a no can be as good as a yes. However, if a compromise can be settled, that's always the best way to go. A great way you can practice your decision-making is by presenting your dilemma in a yes or no question. Then answer the question based on all the facts you've gathered. It doesn't get simpler than that. Another way of being an effective decision maker is through listening to what others suggest. Decision making isn't just a you thing, it's definitely an us thing. It involves everyone in the company or organization because the decisions of those in the top positions will have a rippling effect all the way down to the regular employees. Get on the ground level and gain insight from those who will be affected by the decision. This will create trust and start a good relationship between you and your peers, no matter what position you're in. Consider the effect it'll have on everyone involved. Is your decision fair and just? Is it not self-serving? Is it along the lines of the company's values, vision, and mission? These are questions that have to be answered when thinking about what it will be like for those who'll be affected. It's also important you look at things objectively. This is because we all have a natural bias towards certain topics. We're human, we can't actually escape them. But since you have to make a decision that will affect everyone, that means you'll need to put yourself in everyone's shoes and see through everyone's eyes. And yes, we do mean it when we say everyone involved. Seeing others' points of view and how they'll be affected by your decision can help you to decide outside of your natural bias and help your final decision to be fairer and more objective. This also allows us to see things from the perspective of our clients and employees. A lot of times, looking at things from their point of view can help us to find answers that we hadn't considered before. Having this superpower will allow you to steer them toward a decision that they'll be thankful for in the long run. Effective decision-making doesn't only depend on numbers, though. You have to apply creativity, too. In order to make an informed decision, you must have choices. These choices are based on the alternative options created from a good brainstorming session. Some of the best decisions are out of the box. They're the ones that have no expectations, but definitely needs. Creative brainstorming can generate new ideas and stimulate everyone's neurons, so keep that storm surge going in your head to keep up a well-oiled brain. Okay, so after listing down all of the choices you have, it's a good idea to narrow them down until you find the best one. The power of deduction is, at the risk of sounding redundant, powerful indeed. Go get 'em, Sherlock. Most of the time, making a decision requires sacrifice. Armin Arlert from Attack on Titan said, "Someone who can't sacrifice anything can't ever change anything." And that's true. Change comes with sacrifice. And if you want to change the world with your decisions, you definitely can, but you have to be ready to make them. The best way to do this is to make sure that no one else is harmed by your decision. However, if somebody will be, comfort them and make sure that their sacrifice is something that will not be glazed over. Recognize the sacrifice someone has to make in order to carry out your decision. The fact that they took one for the team should work to their advantage. Make every effort to present them as heroes. And lastly, just make the decision and follow through on it. Once you've gotten through all the preparations, tests, and consensus, it's time to actually make the decision. In their Harvard Business Review article, authors Jeffrey Pfeiffer and Bob Sutton explain that in business, when confronted with a problem, people act as if discussing it, formulating decisions, and hashing out plans for action are the same as actually fixing it. You can make plans for action all you want, but as long as you haven't acted upon it, the decision is yet to be made. So just make it. Effective leaders are more than just talk, they're doers. They make the decision and then follow through by putting it into action. Building a career on good decisions. Now that we've settled into how to live a life full of good choices, we'll learn how to get paid for doing so. A career that revolves around decision-making sounds pretty terrific, right? You'd be surprised at how many options there are out there that revolve around your decision-making skills. So how do you go about jump-starting that career? Well, you first have to build up trust. This is key to being given decision-making powers within a company or organization. Establishing the trust that you can handle any problem that comes your way will allow them to give you the power to choose within the company. Once you've established that you can do anything well with the help of factual decision-making, the only way to go is up. But how can you actually prove that you've got the chops? Well, if you've worked with clients before, then their testimony is an excellent way to back up your skills. If you've already been in a position where your decisions have been critical to the success of a project, then that's a badge of honor you can wear to signal people. If you have your own website, letting people see what other people think of your work will boost their confidence in your ability to deal with their problems and to help them make the right decisions. Another way to build trust on your decision-making skills is by positioning yourself as an expert in your field. There's a few ways you can go about doing this. Your LinkedIn profile is an excellent place to start. Write a great profile description that highlights the knowledge you have, your years of experience, and the skills you've picked up. Expertise is something that attracts people, so don't be afraid to expand your knowledge. Take a few courses or look for ways to learn even more about your field. The more you know, the better your decision will be. Another great option is writing. You could contact high-authority websites, the kind that everyone trusts and wants to visit, and then ask to see if you can write a guest blog for them. This guest blogging strategy is great to position yourself as someone who's known around circles of trust. You could even write a book around your area of work. All the best industry leaders and CEOs are built from the ground level, so don't worry about it. You'll get there with passion, wit, and your newly acquired ability to think out your decisions and avoid making the wrong ones. So to wrap all of this up, Aluxer, are you ready to go up the corporate ladder for your decision-making skills? If there's anything to pick up from this video, it's that decisions, no matter how small, will always have an effect. That's why it's important you always make the most informed decisions you can. Ask around, take suggestions, research, but most importantly, at the end of the day, just make that decision. And since you stuck with us until the end as a true Aluxer, you know you're getting a bonus. So here it is. Did you know that a human's decision-making power is finite? Yeah, no kidding, it can be depleted. Even small decisions take up a few charges of this power. Food, rest, and a healthy lifestyle actually contribute to good decision-making and stopping you from heading into decision fatigue. And interestingly enough, according to a study done by Harvard Business Review, women can help groups to make better decisions. They noticed this after seeing that all groups with female members had the highest group intelligence evaluated.